Hello friends, myself Dr. Rajeshri Zavde, Assistant Professor Ismail Sahib Mullah Law College Satara. Here today I am going to talk about nature of law and administration of justice under the jurisprudence. Administration of justice is the firmest pillar of government. Law exists to bind together the community. It is sovereign and cannot be violated with impunity. Salmond and Roscoe have emphasized the importance of justice in their definition of law. They have defined law in terms of justice. According to Salmond, law may be defined as the body of principles recognized and applied by the state in the administration of justice. According to Roscoe, law is the body of principles recognized or enforced by public and regular tribunal in the administration of justice. According to Blackstone, justice is not derived from the king as his free gift, but he is the steward of the public to dispense it to whom it is due. He is not the spring but the reservoir from whence right and equity are conducted by 1,000 channels to every individual. Administration of justice. The most essential functions of the state are primarily two: war and administration of justice. If a state is not capable of performing either or both of these functions, it cannot be called a state. According to Salmond, the administration of justice implies the maintenance of right within a political community by means of the physical force of the state. It is a modern and civilized substitute for the primitive practice of private vengeance and violent self-help. The definition of Salmond has been criticized on the ground that it is not the force of the state alone that secures the obedience of law. There are a number of other factors such as the social sanctions, habit, and convenience which help in the obedience of law. In civilized societies, obedience to law becomes a matter of habit, and in every rare cases, the force of the state is used to secure it. Necessity of administration of justice. In the words of Jeremy Taylor, a herd of wolves is swifter and more at one than so many men, unless they all have one reason in them or have one power over them. According to Hobbes, without a common power to keep them all in awe, it is not possible for individuals to live in society. Without it, injustice is unchecked. So in this way, we need to understand the necessity of administration of justice. When law is there and state is there, duty of the state is to regulate law in precise way, to protect the rights of individual, to safeguard the freedoms of individual. Origin and growth of administration of justice. The origin and growth of administration of justice is identical with the origin and growth of man. The social nature of man demands that he must live in society. While living so, man must have experienced a conflict of interest, and that created the necessity for providing for the administration of justice. With the growth of the power of the state began to act as a judge, to assess liability and impose penalty. It was no longer a regulator of private vengeance. It substituted public inquiry and punishment for private vengeance. The civil law and administration of civil justice helped the wronged and became a substitute for the violent self-help of the primitive days. The modern administration of justice is a natural corollary to the growth in power of political state. And these things are very, very essential to understand in administration of justice. Justice is according to law. In modern times, what is given by the courts to the people is not what can really be called justice, but merely justice according to law. Judges are not legislators, and it is not their duty to correct the defective provisions of law. Their only function is to administer the law of the country. They are not expected to ignore the law of the country. It is rightly said that in the modern state, the administration of justice according to law is commonly taken to simply recognition of fixed rule. So the role of the state and the role of the people, role of the advocate and judges are very essential in giving justice. Content of the topic. In this topic, we are going to deal about definition and kinds of law, various sources of law, nature of law or natural law. Law and morals, law and justice, administration of justice. When we talk about law, law is nothing but the rules, regulation, bylaws, custom, notification, orders, etc. Even Article 13 clause 3 subclause A, which talks about law. Law includes rules, regulation, bylaws, custom which are enforceable by law. While talking about definition of law, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, it defines law as the body of rules, whether proceedings from formal enactment or from custom, which a particular state or community recognizes as binding on its members or subjects. The system of rules which a particular country or community recognizes as regulating the actions of its members and which it may enforce by the imposition of penalties. Main function of the law is to maintain law and order in the society. Law follows certain practices and customs in order to deal with crime, business, social relationship, property, finance, etc. The law is controlled and enforced by the controlling authority, and that controlling authority is called as the state. So function of state is very essential in administration of justice. When we talk about definition of law, we need to take into consider two views, according to natural theory and according to positive theory of law. In the natural school of thought, a court of justice decides all the laws. There are two main parts of this definition. One, to actually understand a certain law, an individual must be aware of its purpose. And second, to comprehend the true nature of law, one must consult the court and not the legislature. According to positivists, and specifically according to John Austin, law is the aggregate set of rules set by a man as politically superior or sovereign to men as political subject. Thus, this definition defines law as the set of rules to be followed by everyone, regardless of their statute. Hans Kelsen created the pure theory of law. According to Kelsen, law is a normative science. In Kelsen's law definition, the law does not seek to describe what must occur, but rather only defines certain rules to abide by. According to Kelsen, there are rules and that rules are unified, certain and which needs to be followed by each and every one in the society. Now we'll talk about historical definition of law. According to Savagny, law is a matter of conscious and organic growth. The nature of law is not universal. Just like language, it varies with people and age. So custom not only precedes legislation, but it is the superior to it. Law should always conform to the popular consciousness because of custom. Law has its source in the common consciousness. The legislation is the last stage of lawmaking, and therefore the lawyer or the jurist is more important than the legislature. According to Dugit and sociological approach towards the law, so according to Dugit, law is essentially and exclusively as a social fact. According to Irving definition of law, the form of the guarantee of conditions of life of society assured by state's power of constraint. In this definition, we can see law is a means of social control. The law is to serve the purposes of the society, and law due to its nature is coercive. Now we'll talk about Roscoe Pound. Roscoe Pound talks about social engineering. He considered the law to be predominantly a tool of social engineering, where conflicting pulses of political philosophy, economic interest, and ethical values constantly struggle for recognition. According to him, law should be precise, and the role of the state is to protect the rights of the individual, interest of the individual. Realist, according to realist or legal realism, according to Justice Home, law is a statement of the circumstances in which public force will be brought to bear upon through courts. According to Benjamin Cardozo, law is a principle or rule of conduct so established as to justify a prediction with reasonable certainty that it will be enforced by the courts if its authority is challenged, is a principle or rule of law. As the above definition of law states, human behavior in the society is controlled with the help of law. It aids in the cooperation between members of a society. Law also helps to avoid any potential conflict of interest and also helps to resolve them. Law is the command of sovereign. In this lecture, we have seen that Austin is on the view of law is the command of the sovereign, and it is the command of the superior to an inferior, and force is the sanction behind law. So according to Austin, law is nothing but the command of sovereign. So if command is not followed, duty is not done, then sanction will be there, according to Austin. According to Holland, a law is a general rule of external behavior enforced by a sovereign political authority. In simple words, law is a definite rule of behavior which is backed by the sovereign power of the state. It is a general rule of human conduct in society which is made and enforced by the government. Each law is binding and authoritative rule or value or decision. Its every violation is punishable by the state. If we talk about nature and feature of law, we can see that the nature of law is broader. Law is a general rule of human behavior in the state. It applies to all people of the state. All are equally subjected to the laws of their state. Law is definite and it is the formulated will of the state. It is a rule made and implemented by the state. State always acts through law. Laws are made and enforced by the government of the state. Law creates binding and authoritative values or decisions or rules for all the people of the state. Sovereignty of state is the basis of law and its binding character. Law is backed by the coercive power of the state. Violations of laws are also